Do you see the height difference on the bed directly in front of us? This whole wall is potatoes, but on this end I have one 8-foot stretch of the trellising, the support for the potatoes. And you see how those plants have stayed upright better? And the other ones without the support have started falling over from the center, which means the potatoes underneath that have grown towards the surface can start to be exposed to sunlight. So these potatoes are much happier looking. The plants, they're greener. And I have 3 bricks stacked up. And then I have a 4x fencing laid down across that the plants grew up through. And that helps them stay up during heavy winds and rain. And just their own weight sometimes makes them bend over. But these plants have no trellis, no support, and they're all laid over. Whoop, there's a potato right there. So I've been walking around and covering these up as I see them. So I'm definitely going to buy a few more pieces of fencing for next potato season to make sure I can get everything trellised. I'm glad I got to do a side-by-side comparison on these by accident. Last year I tried out this trellis idea for potatoes and it worked really well. The plants grow up through the fencing. Can I show you? It's just a 4-foot by 8-foot. It's like a cattle fencing, trellising kind of stuff. I support it almost a foot up with brick laid across, and as the tomatoes grow up, they grow up through the fencing. This was the last piece that I had, so I couldn't finish this wall with it. I'll show you the other wall also. Alright, this whole length of wall has the potato trellis all the way down. So you put it in after the potatoes have started coming out of the ground. I wait until they're out of the ground and I've had a chance to cover them during a frost if I need to with my hoops. But then once I know the frost are past, I put the fencing out so the potatoes can grow up through it. And what this does is it keeps the plants from falling over during storms or heavy winds. And that way it maintains shade above the soil and above the potatoes. So they'll grow up through this and look lovely. And this way I don't have to worry as much about covering the potatoes. They won't get as much sun exposure. Every now and then a few might poke through and I have to cover them with some dirt. But otherwise, keeping the potato plants upright all season does a lot to shade the soil and shade the potatoes and keep the soil moist. So they're just now starting to grow through the trellising.